at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An overnight shooting on the city's east side. We have the latest from investigators and how the victim was finally able to get help.
Family members whose loved ones were victims of the deadly gun violence are again calling on the governor to make gun safety a priority. More in a rally at the Texas Capitol. That's straight ahead.
And we have Leading SA coming up. We're talking about the local real estate market. Taking a look out of the Alamo City. It is gorgeous out there. 77 degrees to start your Sunday morning. What is the rest of the day? What does the work week look like? We're going to check in with Justin in just a few moments. But for now, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, August 28th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. I got to say, doing the show in the studio at 8 a.m., it's a little weird after we were on the field all day yesterday.
I mean, we are on the field, and then we have to come back to the studio.
We're lucky to be here. We're very happy. But we were...
It set the bar really high.
Yeah, we were spoiled yesterday. Got to throw the football around. You looked like CeeDee Lamb out there.
Well, thank you. I had a great quarterback, you know, right into the hands.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right into the hands.
I was waiting for the Cowboys to reach out.
I'm still waiting on that
That's
call.
fair. All right, Justin Horn also out there. Justin, how was your KSAT Pigskin Classic?
It was a lot of fun. I'm just glad Sarah didn't pull a hamstring.
me too, Justin.
We don't need you both on the pup list.
No.
Yeah, it was awesome yesterday, and we're going to see a pretty beautiful day today, other than it is going to be hot and humid. I mean, we're used to that, right? But the heat index is going to get up above 100. It's not until next week that we get those rain chances back in the picture. So let's look at the headlines. It basically lays out what I just told you. We're going to see that humidity high enough today where we get the heat index 100 plus. Scattered rain returns next week. And what's going on in the tropics? Things are really starting to heat up on schedule. We would expect things to get a little busier this time of year, but will it affect us? Will we get some tropical moisture? It's a little complicated, but we'll take a look at it. 78 degrees right now. We've got mostly cloudy skies. Dew point is at 74. Feels like 81 outside. Temperatures are generally in the upper 70s right now. 78 San Antonio, 77 Hondo, 73 right now in Kerrville. A little closer look here at Bexar County. Temperatures are in the upper 70s and that humidity is sky high. KSAT 12-hour forecast. By noontime, you're at 87. Partly cloudy skies today, 10% chance of rain. That's it. If we see anything on the radar today, it's going to be very isolated. 96 the high temperature. We fall down into the 80s by 8 p.m. Take away the rain chances, and then we pick them back up coming up tomorrow and again next week. Close look at that 7-day forecast is coming up in just a bit. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. New this morning, an East Side shooting ends with one man in the hospital, and police tell us he had to drive to find help. Now, SAPD says that this happened just after 11:15 last night. A man called 911 for help, claiming he'd been shot. When officers arrived to the home at the call, well, they found in the 100 block of Orphan Street, they found the man sitting inside his vehicle with a gunshot wound. Now, investigators say they noticed numerous bullet holes on the door of the vehicle. Officers say the man was actually shot a few blocks away, but police not able to find a crime scene just yet. That victim taken to the hospital in stable condition, but right now, investigators working to figure out what exactly happened and who was responsible.
Also new this morning, San Antonio police arrest a man for allegedly beating his father and his girlfriend with a gun. According to an arrest affidavit, 31-year-old Nicholas Campos was at his father's house last week when they got into an argument. Allegedly, Campos got a handgun and started waving it around and threatening his dad and girlfriend. The couple went outside to call 911, and that's when police say Campos started to leave but ended up hitting the couple with the butt of the handgun, then took off on a bike. Campos is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Family members of the victims of the deadly Robb Elementary shooting outside of the Texas state capitol yesterday, and they are demanding that Governor Greg Abbott call a special session. So those families, along with dozens of others, making the trip to Austin to take part in the March for Our Lives rally. And this event comes a little more than 3 months after the tragedy in Uvalde. Family members say easy access to the AR-15 style rifles. They say it's a major problem, and they want politicians, including the governor, to make it more difficult for just anyone to be able to buy them.
We've been in this fight, and Greg Abbott, I'm asking you to do something. You sat us at a round table, you promised a bunch of things to us, and you failed us.
Offering the Uvalde family members support during the rally were survivors and families from other mass shootings across the country, including some from the Santa Fe High School shooting. Remember, 10 people there shot and killed. Well, happening today, a special seminar taking place to assist hundreds of military survivors finding support as they grieve.
Our Jonathan Cotto is live downtown with the TAP seminar. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Max. And that's right. I'm here live at the Hyatt Regency in downtown, joined by Bonnie Carroll, founder and president of TAP's Good Grief Camp, which is aimed at helping so many families that are going through such a difficult time. Bonnie, thank you for being with us this morning. Talk to us a little bit about TAPS and what it stands for.
TAPS is a national organization for all of us who are grieving the loss of our military loved one. This weekend, we have hundreds of families who have come together to honor their hero, to remember lives lived in service to America, and to get resources and support, to know that they're not alone. But one of the best parts is our Good Grief Camp for the kids. So we've got not only our grieving children, but we've got military members who are trained to be one-on-one mentors for the kids. It really has been an absolutely fantastic opportunity to find out that we're not alone.
Bonnie, I understand that TAPS, you founded TAPS back in 1994, and prior to that, there wasn't an organization of this type that really focused on helping military survivors.
We are a community, and we're a community that's very proud of the service and the sacrifice made by our loved one. So that's what TAPS is all about. If you have families, viewers who are grieving a military loss, please visit taps.org. Check out everything that we have to offer. It's a wonderful resource of comfort and care.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. That's taps.org. If you're a viewer watching this and need help, need resources, and navigating a loss, this is what TAPS is designed to do. Back to you in the studios, Max. We're going to continue to hang out here with Bonnie and have more information on this wonderful organization coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, according to Redfin, the average sale price of a home in San Antonio last month was $295,000. That's up 12% since the same time last year. But with the questionable national economy and an apparent pullback in offers on homes, how does the local real estate market look, and what comes next?
That's why joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Jack Hawthorne, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage. Good morning, Jack. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Jack, are we starting to see a slowdown in the local housing market?
Well, you look at it in two different ways, right? So you have the number of homes sold, and then you also have the value of those homes. So the number of homes sold is absolutely slowing down a little bit. We saw those units drop about 15% year over year. However, we're also seeing the price of homes still going up year over year, about 12%. So while we're seeing less homes sold overall, we're not seeing any of the values go down.
And we've heard that there is a national economic turmoil. So how does that affect us locally? Are we seeing that same here?
It makes sense. And so what happens for a lot of folks when a recession occurs, and, right now it's debatable on whether or not we're in a recession, depending on, who's up for election or what may be going on. What happens is enough people freak out about something, it can become a reality. In San Antonio, we have such a strong hyper-local market. It's propped up by a lot of different things that the national economy simply doesn't have the luxury of having. And so because of that, our market will likely grow a little bit slower than it's been growing, but there's no reason to believe it's going to go backwards.
So we've been talking for the last few months about some of the trends that you guys are seeing. What are those prominent trends right now, and where are people moving in and around our area?
Sure. So one of the biggest trends we've seen, and this happens every time the market moves, is rents have actually gone up about 21% year over year, which is a lot. And that's one of the things we say. It's like toothpaste. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's probably not going back in. Rents don't go back down. And so we've seen a lot of people still moving from out of state to San Antonio. We've also seen a lot of people that have been priced out of Austin moving to New Braunfels and to the east side of San Antonio because it's much more affordable, and it's about a 45-minute to an hour commute, depending on when you make it. That's one of the most surprising trends we've seen that we weren't really expecting.
Okay, so staying on that, I was going to ask you, so do you think what happened in Austin is going to happen in San Antonio? Since, they're moving down to New Braunfels, the east side of San Antonio, will we eventually see the crazy prices like Austin is seeing in real estate?
So I certainly don't have a crystal ball. However, the reason I don't believe, right, and I want to be honest, right, the reason I don't believe that's going to happen, though, is because Austin was designed intentionally to reject growth. And if you look historically, that's how it was designed. The original founders did not want that to happen. San Antonio is very growth-minded. They want to bring in economy. They want to bring people in and have it a very, diverse economy with a lot of different services being offered. We also have the ability to expand in a lot of different directions. And so we see new builds and housing or track builders coming in. They're throwing on a lot more inventory than they've been able to in the past. As supply lines start to free up a little bit, we see a lot of people still selling their homes and moving around. And so no, we don't have any expectation that we're going to hit those crazy 25-30% appreciation years, because that's not healthy, it's not sustainable, and it's really not good for the economy.
Now, we're seeing more people move from Austin, but during the pandemic, we saw people from around the country move to San Antonio. Are you guys still seeing a lot of out-of-staters move to our area?
Absolutely. So San Antonio is one of the most popular places nationally for people to move. The reason for that is because we have great infrastructure here, not necessarily, public commute, but we have great infrastructure for a lot of housing. Even though we are in a shortage, there's still a lot more than there are in other places. We're a very affordable place to live. And it does seem that our local government is really pushing initiatives to put more money and more attention into areas of town that are traditionally underdeveloped or not as popular. So they're looking to spread that commerce around as much as they can. And that just gives a lot of opportunity for out-of-towners that they just didn't have elsewhere.
All right, Jack Hawthorne, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage. Lots of great insight into our local real estate market. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And this full interview will be up on KSAT.com later this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jack. Time now, 8:11, 77 degrees out.
Well, NASA, at it again, has a mission to the mission. The story.
This is like the mission before the mission.
Yes, yes.
We're going to explain what exactly that means. All right. You know what yesterday meant?
What?
It meant the start of something great. Hopefully we keep this tradition alive. We had the inaugural KSAT Pigskin Classic yesterday. It was amazing. It was amazing for the players, the coaches, the band members, the cheerleaders, the families. It was amazing for us. I'm not gonna
lie.
Not gonna lie.
For us.
When we walked onto the field yesterday under the bright lights,
I think we all started kind of running.
Yes.
Whoa.
We're gonna have a full recap of yesterday.
Yeah. All right, 77 degrees at 8:12 this morning. Justin Horn is in for Sarah this morning. He'll have the full forecast when he comes.
Good morning, welcome back, and hey, happy football season.
Happy football season.
KSAT Pigskin Classic kicked off yesterday at the Alamo Dome, and it did not disappoint.
It did not. 6 schools competed in a triple-header event at the Alamo Dome to start the season with a bang. Smithson Valley taking on Reagan, Judson versus Johnson. To cap it all off, it was Brennan and Steele showdown.
All right, so from game 1 to game 3, the Dome was packed full of energy. The band had the place rocking, all the high school football action on the field, and those in attendance got the whole 9 yards.
It's fun. It's special because it's our senior year, so we really want to be able to do this.
It's our last first game of the year. It's really exciting.
Our last first game at the Alamo Dome, it's different.
Honestly, all of the families, all of the players, all of the band members, all of KSAT, we were so pumped. The power of sports, bringing so many communities together, one location, one beautiful location, and it was such a great day.
There's no other feeling than being in that dome, especially on the field. So if you couldn't make it out to the event, no worries. But you want to make sure you sign up to become a KSAT Insider so you can get a heads up on all the other cool events that we have coming up, including VIP experiences that you can do that by going to KSAT.com.
So it's funny because, we were out there all morning, and I feel like throughout the day we saw more and more KSAT employees trickle in, and at one point everyone was either a quarterback or wide receiver, but I never got to throw the long ball to Justin Horn.
I know.
I was waiting. I didn't get to go down to the field, but the games. So the first game was decided by a point, right?
Yes.
Second game overtime, third game decided by a point. That's good football.
That's great football.
That's just good football. Loved every minute of it.
You have something really cool behind you.
Okay, let me just preface this with, I'm pretty sure everyone is sick and tired of hearing about my birthday.
No. I peer pressured you to put this on here because
Massey made it mandatory.
This is so cool, though.
It was.
First off, happy birthday, Justin.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. My family, got me this cake.
This is a cake. For anyone who thinks this is just a scraggled...
That's not the 7-day forecast.
No, this is a cake. This is amazing.
Incredible. Yeah, I was very thankful. Very blessed.
creative.
Yes. HEB. Shout out.
Was it
Shout out
yummy?
HEB.
Was it yummy?
Yeah. What was that?
Was it yummy?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's delicious. So thank you very much. Yes. Sorry. I am sorry. But anyway, let's talk about the hottest summers on record. And 2022, as of right now, as of Friday, was the hottest summer on record if we look at June, July, and August. Okay, so we haven't finished the month yet. It's entirely possible, just the way temperatures are looking, that we'll see temperatures below average, and that may drag this down into second place. I mean, we know it was a hot summer. June, July alone. August has been a little bit better, but it's possible we may finish in second place versus first place. I think that's a good thing. We'll see how it all ends up, but that's the situation right now. Forecast high temperature here in San Antonio today, 96 degrees. So we'll be at average, maybe a little bit above. Most places in the 90s today. The catch here, humidity is so high that the heat index is going to be up above 100. The forecast heat index right around 103 here in San Antonio. So say 4 or 5 o'clock, 96 the temperature, 103 heat index. Be careful out there. Those temperatures can be a little bit deceiving when you have humidity this high. 77 in New Braunfels, 78 Gonzales, 78 Pleasanton, 73 right now, Bernie Stage and Comfort. And as we look outside, we've got some clouds this morning. I don't think these will last all that long, but mostly cloudy. 78 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 74. It feels like 81. Here's the big picture. We've got showers and storms lining up along the plains moving into the Midwest. That disturbance well to the north, but most of Texas is quiet, at least for now. What we're watching, though, is some tropical moisture just off the coast that may bring us some better chances of rain. In the short term, just a 10% chance of rain today. I think 1 or 2 showers. Otherwise, most of us will be looking at dry conditions. Morning clouds tomorrow. This is 7 a.m. And then by noontime, we start to see some showers gathering along the coast. Those move inland, 20% chance of rain tomorrow. I mentioned some of that tropical moisture. That's this orange color here. That represents deep moisture in the atmosphere. And whenever we have an air mass like that, it usually translates to better rain chances. So by 5 o'clock tomorrow, that tropical moisture is right along the coast. That's where the best rain chances will be. But by Tuesday and Wednesday, this starts to move towards San Antonio. So we bring our rain chances up by midweek. And in fact, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right now we have a 40% chance of rain. Looks good for some scattered downpours. And I think even Friday and Saturday, depending on if we can get more tropical moisture on here and what happens in the tropics, we'll see some decent rain chances. And speaking of the tropics, let's see what's going on because it is busy. We have one little system out here, 20% chance of development. This one has the highest probability, 70% according to the Hurricane Center. This likely curves north. 10% chance for this one out in the open Atlantic. But it's this one here in the Caribbean that we're going to watch. There's actually nothing there yet. But once this wave makes it into the Western Caribbean, there's a small chance of development. If it were to move into the Gulf of Mexico, there's some warm water there. It's too early to be worried about this yet. It is something to watch, though, and we will. And should we get a named system, Danielle and Earl next in line. Forecast for today, again, up around 96, 10% chance of rain. We'll go 95 tomorrow, 20% chance. And there's that better shot at rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some pockets of heavier rain. That drags temperatures down some. Highs in the low 90s by the time we get into Tuesday, guys.
Love to see it. Thank you, Justin.
Yep. Thank you, Justin. 821, 78 degrees out.
Tomorrow, all eyes on the sky as NASA launches one of its newest rockets, the destination, the moon. Ooh. That story is still to come on GMSA.
Free for all.
Over 50 years after NASA's Apollo missions paved America's way to the moon, we're at it once again, counting down to the new era in space exploration.
Tomorrow, NASA set to launch the planned Artemis 1 mission, the agency's first launch of its new space rockets. Take a look. Like we've been talking about, it is 322 feet tall. It's actually taller than the Statue of Liberty. It is also the most powerful rocket ever built, but unlike SpaceX, this rocket is not reusable. Only the Orion spacecraft will return to Earth after it orbits the moon.
And no humans will be on board for this test. The plan is to build a moon base in the future. Pretty cool to be able to explore deep space. Now, Orion's trek back to Earth will reach speeds up to 25,000 miles an hour, generating temperatures of over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot.
So, inside info over here. Not that inside because I did a story. Space Force. No, Port SA, they have a couple companies that are actually working on production that could go to the moon.
Very
and
cool.
build bases on the moon.
That story in KSAT.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Look at us, San Antonio connection. Time now, 8:26, 78 degrees out.
KSAT Pigskin Classic was an event like no other. 3 exciting high school football games that left you wanting more. Those highlights coming up.
Plus, up next, San Antonio police making an arrest in a deadly crash that happened at the beginning of the year. We'll explain who is now in custody. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Costa. It's Sunday, August 28th. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Yesterday, if you were waking up with us, well, we were at the Alamo Dome. Love being in the studio, don't get me wrong, but yesterday was just like adrenaline.
It's like a way more toned down.
Way more toned down. The lights are a little less bright here in the studio, I gotta say, but all-star status over here. You're about to be an all-pro wide receiver.
You know, I'm trying. Is that what it's called, wide receiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. See, we're
You're
learning.
the quarterback. I'm the
one
wide
day at a time.
receiver.
We had Sarah Spivey kicking field goals.
She's our kicker.
1 of 1. Love it. Justin Horn. People don't even know this about you. You're like 6'4".
It's true.
Yeah.
We need you out there yesterday.
Really
listen,
did.
we need to work on your end zone dance, though, Sarah.
No, it was the,
Getting there.
We know there's the Gronk spike, but we have the Acosta spike now. 2 hands.
It was good. Hey, listen, if you're looking for some rain chances, you know, we had some last week. We've got some more headed your way. This is good news. As we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain chances kick up. 40% chance. I think we'll see some more scattered downpours, maybe some good rain around the area, and that is, again, great news. Today, though, it will be hot, 96. Only a 10% chance of rain. That heat index is going to be up around 100 later today. Let's look at the numbers right now. We're at 78 degrees here in San Antonio, 74 in Kerrville, 77 in New Braunfels. Already up to 80 if you're watching us down in Cotulla. 81 in Castroville, too. So there's some warm spots out there. We've got clouds rolling in. By noontime, we're up to 87, partly cloudy. And then by this afternoon, 96, as I mentioned, with just that 10% chance of rain. Not a big deal. Temperatures down to 91 by 7 p.m. And then we'll get some southeasterly winds, probably in the range of 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll take a look at those rain chances. We'll also look at the tropics. Once again, that's coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Happening right now, a grief seminar downtown. The goal to help military survivors deal with their grief.
Jonathan Cotto joining us live downtown with what is available through TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. Jonathan?
That's right, Max. You know, TAPS is an organization that was created and founded in 1994 with the effort of helping families, those individuals, survivors of a loss and who were in the military and died in some shape or form within their active duty service or even after. But here with me to talk a little bit about what a legacy mentor does within the organization is Jillian Cabrera. Good morning, Jillian. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, a legacy mentor, what is that and what does it entail?
A legacy mentor is somebody who went through the program as a red shirt. So I have personally lost somebody myself, as have all of the other legacy mentors. And after we graduated the program, we were not done quite yet, and we wanted to come back and help out other kids that have been in the same type of situations as us.
Now, Jillian, talk to me a little bit about how TAPS has impacted your life personally and how it's impacted your life now serving as a legacy mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a red shirt, I had a lot of mentors that honestly changed the trajectory of my life. I adore them. They have done so much for me as a person and in my grief. And so I wanted to come back and do the same for the other kids. And so I come back to as many events as I can, as many kids as I can help. I love these kids so much, and I want to be the person that I had as a mentor. And so my goal is to do just that.
Now, Jillian, if there's any words that you can offer to one of our viewers who may be finding themselves in a situation where they need help, they're dealing with a loss, they're trying to navigate the difficult waters of grief, what would you say to them right now?
It's kind of scary to deal with grief and to think about going to an event where you're surrounded by people that are also grieving. But this is a place that, honestly, it's so welcoming to be around people that have experienced the same type of thing with military loss, no matter what kind of loss that is. Even if we're not actively talking about that grief, it's just the comfort and the community that TAPS brings is just, it's life-changing. I mean, I came like 8 years ago, and I have never left. I come to as many events as possible. I love these people more than anything, and I don't know where I would be in my grief journey without them. And so it's definitely very, very important, I believe, to come to an event like this and meet people like this.
It's truly become a family, and I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Jillian, for being with us this morning. All the best. Max, Sarah, and that's what TAPS is all about. I spoke with a survivor earlier today who says that TAPS has truly become her family. She initially sought the program for her son, and little did she know that she herself needed the resources offered by TAPS. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jonathan. Top stories we're following this morning. A man in the hospital in critical condition after San Antonio police tell us he was shot multiple times during a road rage situation on the city's northwest side. So take a look. The shooting happened Saturday around 5 p.m. on Calabro Road and Loop 1604. Police on the scene say the driver of a Toyota Camry was stuck behind a pickup truck. The driver of the Toyota allegedly got out of his vehicle, fired multiple shots at the driver of the truck. Then the suspect drove off. Right now, police still investigating, trying to find out who exactly pulled the trigger.
A series of shootings in Converse lands 5 juveniles and 3 adults in the Bexar County Jail. BCSO officials say it started when deputies checked out a home on Estrid Trail after reports of several shootings. When deputies were able to get inside, they arrested 3 adults and 2 juveniles. 2 more juveniles were arrested at the site of the home. Officials say the last juvenile made it inside a nearby Walmart, causing the store to be evacuated as a precaution. He was eventually arrested. Officials say no one was injured from any of those shootings.
A woman now facing charges in connection to leaving the scene of a deadly crash from earlier this year. So this is 29-year-old Mercedes Haynes. Now she's charged with failure to stop and render aid, resulting in death. The crash happened back on January 23rd. Police tell us 30-year-old Mariano Lugo was riding his motorcycle, ignored a red light at the intersection of South Cross Boulevard. Lugo then crashed into a Honda. A security camera footage from nearby, a grocery store nearby, it actually captured the aftermath of the crash. It showed Haynes with 4 other people gathering in items from inside and then taking off. Haynes' bond now set at $40,000.
In your morning headlines, nearly 200 people are dead across the border in Afghanistan after weeks of severe flooding. Taliban officials say hundreds more have been injured and thousands of homes have been destroyed. They're appealing to aid organizations to send emergency assistance and long-term aid.
Now to the latest in the war in Ukraine. Russian rockets and artillery strikes, they're hitting areas across the river from Europe's largest nuclear power plant. It's a terrifying situation as fear persists that fighting in the area could damage the nuclear power plant and could cause a radiation leak. Russian forces took control of the power plant soon after the war began, and Russia actually holds the adjacent territory along the left bank of that wide river. Now, Ukraine, they control the right bank, and they control areas just 6 miles away from the nuclear power plant.
And this week on Wednesday marks 25 years since Princess Diana's death. Diana was riding in the car with her then boyfriend in Paris as the paparazzi chased them on August 31st in 1997. Their driver was reportedly drunk, then crashed into a tunnel near a river. Everyone inside died. Diana was 36 years old. A quarter of a century later, she is remembered for her charity, her work, her iconic style, and her charm.
Well, a federal judge in Florida now asking the Justice Department to provide more specific information about those classified records, those records that have been removed from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
This is the judge considers appointing a special master to review those seized documents. ABC's Christine Sloan has the latest.
A federal judge appears to be leaning toward appointing a special master to oversee the review of evidence federal investigators recovered from their search of Mar-a-Lago. Former President Donald Trump's legal team made the request. In a notice posted Saturday, the judge who was appointed by Trump scheduled arguments for September 1st. The director of national intelligence is set to evaluate the potential risks to national security that may have resulted from classified documents being held at Mar-a-Lago. Democratic House committee chairs had pushed for a review, saying after seeing the unsealed affidavit, quote, "It is critical that the intelligence community move swiftly to assess and, if necessary, to mitigate the damage done." The affidavit was used in the FBI request for a warrant to search Mar-a-Lago. The document is highly redacted. The DOJ explained those redactions, writing the government has well-founded concerns that steps may be taken to frustrate or otherwise interfere with this investigation if facts in the affidavit were prematurely disclosed.
The affidavit itself even says that it requests to be sealed because there are unidentified parties that they are still looking at and other charges that could come out of this.
Former President Trump has been critical of the investigation and claims he did nothing wrong. But despite his criticism of the redactions in the affidavit, his legal team did not argue for its release in court. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, the inaugural KSAT Pigskin Classic at the Alamo Dome. It was a touchdown for local high school football. And we have all the highlights from all three games, and all three within just one score of each other. All right, so let's start with the first matchup. Number 5, Reagan hosting number 4, Smithson Valley. Reagan down 7-0. Giuseppe says he blocks the punt. Donnie Lawrence recovered it in the end zone. Touchdown Rattlers. The extra point was actually blocked, and the Rangers led 7-6. We saw running back Carson Green healthy, back for the Rattlers, and he would go 55 yards to the end zone. Reagan led 13-7.5. Fourth quarter, same score. There we go. Score one in the keeper. The Rangers take the lead 14-13. Block a 39-yard field goal attempt late in the fourth quarter. Smithson Valley wins 14-13. Game 2 of the tripleheader, Judson taking on Johnson. So we're picking up things late in the fourth quarter. Hawkins fires a beautiful pass in the front corner of an 11-yard touchdown. Jags were actually down 2 with less than 20 seconds to go. Hawkins would score the 2-pointer, and 43 headed to OT. Now Hawkins passed for 317 yards, 5 touchdowns. Johnson went 3 and out in the first OT, and well, there you go. Rockets win 46-43. And the final game saw the top 2 teams in the city, Brennan taking on Steele. And in the first quarter, Steele up 7-0. Running back Jaden Bailey breaking this 83-yard run right up the middle, putting the Knights up 14-0 after one. But the Bears, they would roar back to life in the second. 7 seconds left before halftime. Ashton DeBose, Armando on the slant, 12-yard touchdown, tied at 14 going into the half. Game tied at 28, a little more than a minute to go. Brennan on the steal, 38. DeBose takes the snap, drops it. Woo! There we go. Jason Love, screen, look at him go. I mean, that's just how you draw it up. The Bears missed the extra point. It is 34-28. Bears giving the Knights some hope. Last chance for Steele on 4th and 7 on the Bears 11. Chad Warner, he is running out of the pocket, escapes to the right, fires it to the back of the end zone. Toe tap like you read about, the back of the end zone for the touchdown. They need the extra point to take the lead. It is good. The Knights win a thriller 35-34, an instant classic of the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Literally couldn't have scripted these games better.
Felt like I was watching college football there.
It was amazing. It really did. I mean, shouts to all the KSAT production because it looked
the production,
amazing.
The players, and you're also playing in the Alamo Dome.
That's true. It was such a great day.
Awesome.
Time now, 8:43, 78 degrees out.
All right, here's my play of the day for my friend Sarah Spivey. There she goes. Oh. Did she actually make it? We'll let you know when we come back.
Let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. 78 now. What does the rest of the day look like? When will we see rain? Will we see rain? We're going to check in with Justin Horn in just a bit.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And it is good!
My girl, Sarah Spivey.
Wait for it.
Boom. Got to be her #1 cheerleader.
So you might have missed it yesterday morning, but our very own Sarah Spivey kicking a field goal ahead of the start of the KSAT Pigskin Classic.
That was her redemption kick, and I'm so proud of her.
It was, the form was so perfect.
Look at that excitement. It's like we're like 2 children.
Yeah, no, I think everyone who was on the field yesterday kind of acting like a child, but it was also because so many of us, we're hanging out on the college field.
It was
fun time.
It was so much fun.
I so proud. I mean, that kick was perfect. It was right down the middle. And then you guys sprinting but just.
You know who actually has a pretty good arm? Mike Osterhage. So I think that the KSAT weather team could actually put together a good flag football team.
There's no doubt about it.
Challenge.
Weather v News. You got to give me a year.
Put that out there. No, and Mike played softball with us. He did a great job.
What was that brief pause, Justin?
There was no pause. There was no pause.
There was definitely a pause.
There may have been a rotator
We love you,
cuff incident,
Mike.
but that's
You did
for another
great,
day.
Mike.
He did. Let's take a look at a KSAT Connect picture here. This is a great shot of the lizard, the Texas spiny lizard. You've seen these around. They're kind of everywhere these days. I feel like I've seen a lot of lizards this year.
So many of those in my yard.
Yeah, and they're great to have around. They eat up all the insects. Yeah, it's a great shot. We appreciate it as always on our KSAT Connect. Let's take a look at the time lapse here. We've got some clouds rolling in, and we're at looking at mostly cloudy conditions right now. Temperatures 78 degrees at the airport, 87% on the humidity, south-southeasterly winds at about 8 miles per hour. 73 Rock Springs, 75 in Uvalde, 78 New Braunfels, 80 in Gonzales, and a lot of upper 70s here around San Antonio at this hour. It's warm, it's muggy, dew points in the upper 70s, and this is about as humid as it gets around here. So we know the humidity is going to be very high throughout the day, not just this morning. And when you put that together with the high temperature of 96, heat index is around 103. So this afternoon is going to be pretty rough temperature-wise. And we look at the radar right now. We've got some showers along the coast. They're not having much success working inland, and I don't expect them to. We could see a stray shower today, but the chances are really pretty low, about 10%. This is 6 o'clock today, 1 or 2 isolated showers there showing up. By tomorrow morning, we start off with some clouds, as we typically do, and then by the afternoon, more showers developing. Now, this time, we get a little more action along the coast, and I think a few of those showers do eventually work their way towards I-35, so 20% chance coming up tomorrow. And rain chances in general really start to jump up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The reason why, we got a good area of tropical moisture moving in. It's more of a tropical air mass. We may have a weak boundary to work with too, some outflow boundaries, and that should kick up scattered showers and storms. Some good downpours, pretty similar to last week. And as we take you out to the tropics, this is an area that's really starting to heat up. I know we showed you last hour, but I think it's worth showing you again because we're starting to head towards the peak of hurricane season, and it shows. We've got one little area here, about a 20% chance of development. Of imminent concerns, this system right here, 70% chance of development according to the Hurricane Center, so this likely is going to become a tropical storm here soon. With this one, though, it looks like this is going to try to curve out into the Atlantic. We'll keep you posted there. In the meantime, there's another little system here that has a very low chance of development. The other area we've got to watch is here in the Caribbean. 20% chance of development by Thursday, so we still have some time to watch it here. There's really nothing there. We're waiting for a wave to move into this area, and that's when it could be more conducive for development. And then past that, the question becomes, does it make it into the Gulf of Mexico? Would it throw some moisture in our direction? Possible, but far, far too early to go down that road. So it is something we'll keep an eye on. In the meantime, just some general tropical moisture working on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Again, some pockets of heavy rain, potentially in spots. Temperatures will fall into the low 90s for highs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we still got rain chances going into Friday and Saturday. So this 7-day forecast, much like last week, is encouraging.
Thank you, Justin.
Time now, 8:51, 79 degrees out.
Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, Americans drank more during COVID, and it appears that trend, well, it's continuing. You may be a long way from rock bottom, but how do you know if you're in the gray? Find out tomorrow on GMSA.
Personal loan.
Welcome back. The pollen count just came in. Molds are still high, 1,070, but still falling from where they have been last couple days. Fall elm also high. That jumps up today, 530. And then pigweed is low. Your extended forecast, we're looking at 96 degrees today, just a 10% chance of rain, 20% chance Monday. Better chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Could see some scattered downpours and some pockets of heavy rain. And very quickly, want to give a shout out to my daughter, Haley. Her birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Weekend of family birthdays for you guys.
Yes.
So do you have a party for her today?
So she had her party yesterday. Yeah, but we'll probably do something as a family today to celebrate both birthdays.
Oh,
Justin
happy
Horn.
birthday.
Happy birthday
Horn
to your
family.
daughter. Happy birthday to you. Working the whole weekend on the birthday.
Okay.
Like a champ.
That's okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Justin, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Happy Sunday.